Do it, Lord. Yeah. Somebody give him praise.
Today, I'm hungry and I'm ready for change. I run too far to still be the same. See who I was, I give him away. Today, no longer bound by what people say. I know that I will make mistakes. I fall, but I refuse to stay. Today,
I've been waiting all my life to get to the door. And now it's time to help someone see their life for so much more.
today we go.
Help somebody, heal somebody,
We go.
free somebody,
Hey.
forgive somebody,
Today we go.
touch somebody, love somebody,
We go.
catch somebody, let go of somebody.
Today, I see the hurt upon your face, thinking how much more of this can I take? In a minute, I'm about to break. Today, see the pain has purpose, so don't throw it away. There's a harvest if you only wait. Don't walk out now, I need you to stay. Today,
Though you never felt winds blow like these before. But if what you see is all you see, you will miss there's so much more.
today we go.
Somebody,
We go.
heal somebody, free somebody, forgive somebody,
Today we go.
touch somebody,
Come on.
love somebody, catch somebody,
Yeah.
let go of somebody today.
Hey, we gon' live our lives. We can't waste no more time. Hey, we not looking back no more. Let's go. Louder, y'all. Just a little bit louder, y'all. Just a little bit louder, y'all. That's it. I think I feel the weather change. Think I felt my last drop of rain. I believe I'm gonna be okay. Today, see today, I'm still here because of my faith. I believe that Jesus still is the way. I said his name cause I'm not afraid. Today.
Help somebody, heal somebody, free somebody,
Yeah.
forgive somebody,
We go.
touch somebody, love somebody, catch somebody, let go of somebody, help somebody, heal somebody,
Yes, sir.
free somebody,
Yeah.
forgive somebody,
Today we go.
touch somebody, love somebody,
Can you feel
let
it?
somebody,
Can you feel it?
of somebody.
If you've been blessed, hey, In him do I live, move, and have my being. In him do I live, move, and have my being. In him do I live, move, and have my being. In him do I live, move, and have my being. 'Cause I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. Lord, I'm nothing without you. Nothing without you. And in him do I live, move, and have my being. Just think about it. In him do I live, move, and have my being. And I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. Lord, I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. Said I'm nothing without you. Lord, I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. So breathe through me and live in me. Let your glory reign in me. Help me say breathe and live in me. Let your glory reign in me. And live in me. Come on, if you mean it. Say, let your glory reign in me. One more time. Say, breathe. Say, live in me.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
Hello.
Hey,
What's
I,
up?
I'm behind time. That's what it is. I'm behind. I usually be trying to get all of my little, sending out my announcements and things like that. And I wasn't, I don't know. The show didn't pop up the way that it normally does. So I was just looking. So
Maybe you should give it a few minutes.
well, it did.
What is today? July 22nd, in the year of our Lord 2024.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hey, everybody. You know what? I need you all.
They did not take medication today.
No, we ain't taking no medication. I need for everybody to share. Hey, Anthony, what's up? What's up?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You know,
What's the phone number?
It's 478-250-1444. Again, that call-in number is area code 478-250-1444.
And what can they do with that number?
They can call in, talk to us. If you have some thoughts, some opinions, call in, talk to us. We would love to hear from you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you can also watch us live right now on Facebook. We're on Periscope. We're on YouTube. We're on all of that. So you guys tune in. This is going to be a really, really good conversation.
It is going to be a
today.
great. Yeah,
and
boy.
I'm excited to get it started. We already got one person on. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, what's up? And all the rest of the folk. I know y'all be out there listening. Sometimes I just want to know that you love me, you know, a little something, something.
Mhm.
So if you can go in the comment section and just say, hey, that would be great.
We
because-
want to know if you love Emily and myself as well, not just Brenda.
Right.
You know what, Johnny? There you go.
I'm a listener. I'm a listener.
Johnny, there you go.
I'm just
There you-
saying, I'm a listener.
Uh-huh. So I just think, well, I don't know.
You heard of Emily. She
Mhm.
forgot all about us.
I did not.
That's typically the case, but you know that's that white.
Oh,
privilege.
well,
Hey, Johnny.
I'm sorry. It was an oversight on my part.
Hey,
Yeah.
Johnny, I got that DNA kit, baby.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
The DNA kit that confirms your whiteness. Okay.
No, the
Moving
DNA
on.
kit. The DNA kit to confirm his whiteness.
Yeah, she's going to.
Because I already ordered it.
Oh, okay.
So I just need to get him to spit in the little tube so that I can
That'll
see.
be no problem.
You know, and by the way, for our listeners out there who don't know,
Okay.
Smiley, they can do wrong. The Smiley is in the house.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've been to City Hall, changed my name. My first name is not Johnny anymore. It's Smiley. See?
I'm telling you,
I mean, I gets blind in the camera. She
I ain't lying. His teeth so white. I was at
Now, let me ask this. You did say that once you got your teeth that you would stop smoking immediately. So have you had a cigarette today?
No,
You know
I have
what?
not smoked since 2 Wednesdays ago.
wow.
What are you doing in place of that? Because I noticed you had a little belly there. So are we eating in the place of the cigarettes or?
Well, see, the deal is I'm eating so many potatoes, like mashed potatoes right now, and pudding and applesauce and peanut butter. I'm on a steady diet of it. So once I get done with that, I'm getting ready to go to the gym. It's gonna be on and popping, and yeah,
Well, yeah, it's yeah.
it's gonna be on and popping.
Anthony said, "Congratulations."
Thank you.
You know, I was at the courthouse and I saw one of our famous listeners. I asked him what was up. He said, "I've just been working real hard."
Who was that?
What's it? Oh, Johnny, you know what his name is?
I don't.
Yes, you do. He one of the twins.
Oh, see, you messing with my partners now. See,
I look Ricky.
Sure, they messing with them Crawford boys. See.
Was it Ricky?
Leave them Crawford boys
Them-
alone.
you know what? Them Crawford boys all right with me
They are.
because they always listen to the show.
They do.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do.
And then I said, "What's up?" You know, you and then I go in whenever I
I
go
got
into
y'all back, man.
whenever I
got
go
y'all
into the courthouse, I see all the deputies and stuff like that, and they'll say, "Hey, Miss Sutton," they still call me Sutton. "Hey, Miss Sutton, we heard you on that radio." I said,
Mhm.
But we hadn't been well. We've been kind of bad lately, though.
Yeah.
We've been kind of bad. I would just have to say, Emily,
Mhm.
I don't know if I can sit next to the stove. But what you think, Johnny?
The star?
Yeah,
The CNN star.
Oh my God.
She's
What's
been,
up,
she's
TD?
been. It's humility on display
What's
over
up,
there.
TD?
I really didn't know what y'all was talking about.
Yeah, right.
Hey Tina. Well, you know,
This is twice.
Hey, TD Brown.
well, it's about to happen again. So I will be on CNN again. Actually, this coming Tuesday.
Really?
Yes.
I
this coming
know
Tuesday.
some of these folks are listening. Got something to say about the new Democratic nominee.
They do, but I will be on there Tuesday. And we'll be discussing this
Uh,
actually.
We
Really?
want to
on
know.
Tuesday.
We want y'all to
Really?
call
Yes.
in 478
I gotta talk to you because I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, I think it was just decided today.
Okay.
And yeah, so CNN will be back down here from New York and they will be interviewing us once again because this is new. This is unprecedented. This is something that needs to be discussed. So this is going to be this is the first time I've really been excited about CNN because I'm interested in what the other ladies have to say.
Well, and Johnny, this is related to our topic today. So, I have a personal Facebook page, and I put in there just in case y'all didn't know, okay?
Mhm.
Because I want to be real clear. I'm with Camel.
Okay.
I can't speak to where everybody else is, but that's where
Mhm.
I am. And I had one person say to me, "Well, you just need to make sure that you're not voting for her because of her race."
Hey, that is
I'm just
important. I'm
what's
not with her because she's a black woman. I'm not with her because she's a woman. I'm with her. I'm not with her because she's an AKA. I'm with her because I feel like she's the best candidate to
uh-huh.
be the president of the United States of America. And that she's qualified. She has proven record, and I think that's where our narrative needs to remain. Because if it start this, I'm a firm believer of this. If it starts being by certain groups, black girl magic and all that, I think it's hurtful. I think that what we should be concentrating on is that she's running for the president of the United States of America, not for the black woman president, not for the AKA president, not for the Divine Nine president. She's running for the
Well,
president of the United States of
and
America, and I don't want to alienate anybody by by putting her in a box. She needs to be we need to be putting out there that she's the most qualified candidate to be the president of the United States of America. And that's and she her track record proves it. She served as a vice president for the last 4 years. She's aware of what's going on in the world. She's been meeting all these dignitaries and world leaders in the last 4 years. So she's current in her relationships. And I think that's the narrative we need to push. Please let's not get caught up into, in my opinion, this black girl magic stuff and all that, because she's not going to be the president of Black Girl
well,
Magic
well,
Club.
well,
She's going to be the president of the United States of
and
America.
let me just say this,
That's
okay?
what we would
Well,
like. That's how I feel.
well, Emily, I know you've got some comments that you want to say on that, but and I wanted to bring this out because I wanted to start out because we go in there with I was told that, and this particular person supported Trump.
Mhm.
And this is my comment to you, and this is just period.
Mhm.
Don't come to me saying, "Oh well, you're supporting her because she's a black woman." What about are you supporting Donald Trump because he's a white man? People vote for who they want to vote for. I mean, you vote
Mhm.
however you want to vote. I personally vote on the issues, and there's a lot of black folk who do the same thing. So, let's
But the
not
question is so what if I am?
So
come
what
on.
if you are what?
So what if I am voting for her because she's a black woman? Look at her track record. Look at what she's done, like as Johnny so eloquently laid it out a
Right,
few
right,
minutes
right,
ago.
right.
So the fact of all of that, plus the fact that she's a black woman, that's a plus. So let's not. I get where you're coming from,
I'm saying
Johnny,
we
and
don't
I
have
agree
to
with you.
announce that she's a black
Right.
woman. We can
We
clearly
we
see
see
that.
that. No, I get where you're coming from 100%. But this was to answer your question. Like when people come up to me and say, "Okay, like you said, you voting for Trump because he's a white man," because that got to be the only reason why. With all of his track record, and we know what his track record is,
Come on now.
what other reason would you have to vote for Donald Trump?
Because they believe in what he's talking about.
And because he's a white man.
But because they also believe in what he's talking
Well,
about.
let me just say
They
this.
believe in Project 20,
Kamala
2025.
was back in Project 2025 and Kamala was convicted of 34 counts of et cetera, et cetera, do you think that they would vote for her? They're going to say, "Oh, no, put her under the jail." She wouldn't even got this far
Right.
because she's a black woman. So
And
we can't be ignorant to the fact that this is still the reality of the country that we
and,
live
and
in.
by the way, and let me just go back and say this, and I, I've been doing my little research, and of course, I'm going to do what I'm going to do to make sure not only does she get elected, but I'm still looking out for our local people that I have supported, and because I think it's very important that we get out to vote. Now, I just want to let you know that I'm going to do everything I can on the get out the vote. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever I can. I'm gonna be like the Muslims, like the black, like the Nation of Islam when they on the corner selling them newspapers and bean pies. You're gonna see me pretty much on the corner out there doing it, Johnny.
And we should. All thing I'm
That's her
saying
favorite
is
place.
the only thing I'm saying is the same folk that's gonna vote for Kamala should have been the same folk that was gonna vote for Joe Biden. That's all I'm saying.
And but now there is an enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so
we need people to vote.
We need people to vote. And I have heard some people that talk about, well, and just like you said, the Divine Nine. And I got that. I'm not a part of the Divine Nine. I am a part of Jack and Jill. I own that. I am a member of the NAACP. I own that. But my affiliation has nothing to do with, and I'm president of Georgia Women, those who stand with us. So my affiliations have nothing to do with how I choose to vote.
Right.
I encourage people to vote. But let me get back to this. One of the big things, and I do want to talk about this. I just want to know, and I got all my listeners, I want y'all to call in. Don't you think that this was a big okie doke? Meaning that the Democratic Party has raised nearly $100 million in like 24 hours. They tricked, and I'm gonna say tricked the Republican Party. They had a big thing. They spent like $10 million on their convention on somebody who's not even a candidate anymore. So do you think that was a trick?
I'm gonna stick to what I said 2 or 3 weeks ago after that debate, whatever day it was. That you were there when I said after that debate, and you heard what I said during the CNN interview. I said he is going to drop out of that race. And it was people in that room that was like, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. I said, when you have this many people in your own party that are not supporting you, you don't have a choice but to drop out. And if you remember during the interview, I said, if he was to drop out, who are they going to replace him with? The obvious choice would have been Kamala. Well, at this point in time, I think at that time we had 5 months. I said that's not enough time for her to get enough money. It's not enough time for her to gain steam or momentum.
Right.
So this is going to be disaster. He said he had no intent on dropping out of the race, yet he did. But I remember distinctly saying, and you were in the room, so you heard me say, that man is going to drop out of that race, because when you lose the support of your party, you can't run if you don't have the support of your party. And it was too many people that were coming out and saying, we think that he should basically bow out gracefully.
And let me just say, he was old, or he is old. And Johnny, don't you agree that he was moving kind of slow?
You were talking about Donald Trump. He is old.
Biden
Oh,
was
both
moving.
of them old.
Well, and by the way, and that's what I saw. And I think he's a good person. I think Biden is a very, very good and kind and decent person. And he will be remembered for that. And so I give him kudos to know when to back out, because sometimes a lot of us that are of age, we don't know when to back out, Emily. We'll just stay and stay and stay. We'll stay till the wheels fall off, until it implodes. But at least he had the wherewithal to move on. And I just congratulate him for that. It takes a lot of courage, to do that. But I'm going to get back to Kamala. I think that she's going to do a good job personally, because I like to see her. You remember when she was doing those interviews for Supreme Court justice, and she got a hold of Burt Kavanaugh and she lit him up.
I don't remember that.
Yes, I do. We're voting for ideologies, and we need to vote for, how you say her first name again?
Kamala.
I don't want to say it wrong. Kamala.
It's Kamala Harris.
We need to vote for Kamala because of her ideology and what she believes in and what her stance is on this country going forward. I'm saying we are in a desperate time, y'all.
We're in a desperate time. And that Project 2025, even though we're not talking about it, but I plan on talking about it every week, because folk need to understand what that piece of legislation is out. And they said, well, Donald Trump says, I'm not a part of Project 2025. Yeah, you are. You've got people around you who are feeding you information on Project 2025. And that's,
well, the thing is, the people that orchestrated, that wrote it and came up with the ideals in it, I think they said it was about 7 or 8 of them were all Some of them had cabinet positions when Trump was in office. A lot of them worked for Trump, directly under Trump during the presidency. So for him to act as if he doesn't have anything to do with it, obviously we know that that's a blatant lie. You can't have 10 people on your staff, 9 of them used to work for you when you were president, and they come up with an entire 940 page agenda to basically rewrite the country as we know it. And then you it's kind of like you throw the rock and hide your hand. You saying you don't have anything to do with it. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. And not only that, I had to really reconcile with myself because
Emily said, yes, you do.
yeah, you do. I had to reconcile with myself because I was like, I know a lot of people who support Trump, and they're really, really good people. And I said, how do you reconcile some of the things that he's done? And they said, well, he's against immigration or he's against abortion. I said, but he's also an avowed racist. Okay. He is that. And he has, and as far as January 6th, they didn't even start showing the pictures of January 6th. He felt like those people were real patriots. I'm like, no, they weren't no patriots. They went up there and tore up the Capitol. Tell me how these people are patriots. I really don't understand, but I don't even understand that perspective. And so perhaps it's not even for me to understand. But people who want to support them, you support who you want to support. All I can say is, as for me in my house, and believe me, like I said, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing the fact, 1, go out and vote. And 2, not only just vote for Kamala, vote that ticket. Vote for everybody. Just don't vote for her. Be sure and vote for senator. Well, we don't do senator this year, do we?
I don't know. That was last year.
It was last year. So we have House of Representatives and then our local races. And our local races are very, very important. And we'll talk about that at a different time. But Emily, I got a little question for you, on this thing. What do you, and Johnny, you were just saying that it ain't no black girl magic. What kind of magic is it that she
No,
raised?
I didn't say it was. That's not what I said. What I said was, I hope that the narrative does not become all about the black girl magic and all that. I hope it remains that she's the best candidate to be the president of the United States of America, that her record shows that she's qualified, that her record is current, that she's developed relationships with foreign dignitaries and all that. All I'm saying is, I hope everybody doesn't go around, running around, all of a sudden going, black girl, because it's going to turn some people off. Because
it will.
She's not supposed to be becoming the president of the Black Girl Magic Club. She's going to be president of the United States of America, and that's all we should keep the narrative about.
And I agree. And let me just piggyback on what you said. That was the problem that we had with Barack Obama. A lot of people will say, "Well, Barack Obama didn't do nothing for black folk." No, he wasn't. He wasn't a president for black people. He was a president of the United States.
Yeah.
And that was a confusion. Because there was a lot of people who felt like, well, he didn't do enough for us. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna vote for the racists. And what I've heard was a lot of black folk that are out there that are supporting Trump. They can't tell me a whole lot about his policies. They say, oh, he gonna help us get the money. What money? If you ain't got a job and you don't have any skills, how you gonna get some money? I guess what those 2 black women that was in there with him? One of them died. He went to the funeral. What is that?
I can't. Peaches. I forget their name.
Peaches and something. Peaches and crazy. But remember that? You remember them?
I know.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And they were sisters. They were 2 sisters. And one of them was cockeyed. Remember that? She looked like a fish, eye going all over. I'm not lying, Johnny. She had an eye that was just. They were just opening and closing at different kind of times and things like that. Come on, Johnny, you know it. And she had on a bad wig too. Remember that?
Yeah.
And let me just say, it didn't help them any. They still didn't get a job. And look at Candace Owens, and that's somebody to even have a conversation about.
What was the other one name?
Omarosa. Omarosa got up out of there, didn't she? Wrote her book.
We ain't heard nothing from Omarosa this whole time that Trump has been running this particular time. I guess she's trying to distance herself from him because it didn't fare well for her after she, endorsed him, and she realized that, okay, you over there now, but you're going to have to come back to your community. So when she came back to us, we didn't welcome her with open arms.
No, we did
So I
not.
think that backfired. She's kind of been out of the public eye and, kept a quiet, low profile, probably trying to get her black card back.
And let me
so
just say, this is one thing we started on last week when I said there are a lot of black people who are Republicans who have respect, such as Colin Powell,
absolutely.
Michael Steele. Michael Steele got, I got the utmost respect for Michael Steele. He is a real, I think he used to be the national president of the Republican Party. Got a lot of respect for him, not because he dislikes, some of the ways that Trump is behaving, but simply because I have respect for him because he don't stand behind the nonsense.
And that I think we need to point out that just because you're a Republican does not mean that you stand behind the president and whatever the president stands for. And just because you're a Democrat doesn't mean that you're aligned with whatever that specific president is pushing at the time. And I think we get so caught up in Republican, Democrat, instead of choosing the best person for the job, the best person for the presidency. And we all know that, Democrat, Republican, it was a way to divide the people. And at the end of the day, my friend of mine, Beverly, used to say that I was a closet Republican. And I said, well, it's just that some of my thoughts and I guess viewpoints at the time, maybe aligned with what she thought a Republican's thoughts and viewpoints aligned with. And I didn't argue the point with her. I said, well, that could very well be, but that doesn't mean that I voted for George W. Bush. That doesn't mean that I voted for Trump. So I think we got to get away from that ideal because that's going to hurt us, especially in this election. Voting for a Republican just because he's a Republican is going to hurt us. We need to vote for who the best person is for this job right now.
And that's what I feel like, just period. May it be in the local race too. Vote for who is going to be, who's going to represent us best. Yes. And I think that's part of the problem. I saw somebody and they just say, well, being a liberal, you're a liberal. Like, that's a dirty word. Liberal simply means a free thinker.
Yeah,
right.
we got
that's all it means. Yeah. A liberal means a free thinker. Progressive means a person who is a visionary, who looks to the future. If you have read Who Moved My Cheese, that would be the one that was always searching for something new, for something better. Yeah. Just didn't stay stagnant in one place. Now, what conservative means is that you don't do too much moving. You just stay in one place.
Well, see, that's what kills me a lot of times when people talk about being conservative or the Bible thumpers, so to say. Some of those people, it's like when you talk about things like the right to abortion, for instance. The Democrats are not telling you to go out and have an abortion.
That's right.
They're telling you it's not up to me to decide whether or not you have an abortion or not. And the same thing, that's the same choice that God and Jesus Christ gives us. He gives us how he wants us to be, but he does not force us to be anyway. He gives us a choice. And so that's the way I see it with the Democrats, down with the homosexual marriages and everything else. They're not forcing you to be anything or do anything. All they're saying, in my opinion, is you have the right to make your own decision and you have the right to your own consequences of your decision. So I think a lot of times people try to make it seem like that Democrats are telling people to go out and get abortions. No, they are not. They're just saying, we don't have the right to tell you what to do with your own body. And we might, because a lot of Democrats think abortions are wrong, but they also know they don't have the right to tell you what to do with your body. So we get that conflicted a lot, I think.
We do get it conflicted. I agree. And there are certain aspects of abortions that I just simply don't agree with, such as using, abortion as birth control. I don't agree with that. I believe that you should just practice birth control, but there is some extremists who say you shouldn't even have, you shouldn't even use birth control. But now the sad part about that, Johnny, is while we're talking about birth control and abortions and things like that, I don't see that particular side, I'm going to say the Republican side, doing anything about men. If you can create a birth control pill for a woman, Why can't you create one for a man?
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know what I'm saying? I guess, and so I just take issue with that. I'm serious.
I start to be silly, but
But you know, the other part of that is I'm raising a daughter and she's 12. If somebody violates my daughter, then I want to do what I can do to prevent her from having to give birth to that child.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what nobody say.
them two ladies' names were Diamond and Silk.
I said what I said, peaches. Well, Diamond and Silk,
Diamond.
just as bad.
Just as bad. But you know, you are right about the abortion piece. And then even with this, I have a problem with defining Christianity, because when I hear certain things, the first thing that pops, and you guys know that I'm a genealogist, and this is just, and I'm constantly, you know, in my history, is that this is the same group that, you know, as far as that ilk, who believed that it was okay to have to make the people that they were enslaved with, that they enslaved, make them have their babies and sell them because they didn't feel as though that they were real people. So I got a real problem with that brand of what it's not even Christianity. I would just say some bad theology.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I just take issue with that particular group trying to tell me anything. And then too, I saw a sign, "In Trump we trust."
Mm-hmm.
How you do that?
I mean,
I don't even know how you say that, you know, the Bible. Let me just say the I believe that isn't that the what's the first commandment, Johnny? Isn't it that thou shalt have no what?
no other gods before me.
Ain't that what it say, Johnny? Ain't that the first one? Read it out for me now. Thou shalt have no other God before me. And you tell me anywhere, because y'all know I'm not a Bible person. When I say that, I can't read it, you know, I can't quote you the scriptures and stuff like that, you know. But what I can say is that we got a nice little comment in here, and I'm gonna get back to you. Is that it appears to me these people, or some of these people, not all the people that support Trump, are putting him in the place of God.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell me anywhere in the Bible, and you show me anytime any group of people put something or someone else before God, he tore it up.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do with the tower? When they was out there, when they told me they gonna build him a tower? Oh, hey Leon, how you doing?
Hey, happy Monday. They have birth control for men.
What kind?
Trojans.
Have a good day, sir.
What is it?
Trojans.
Trojans.
I thought you were gonna say.
Emily.
Hey, Leon. I thought you were gonna say really ugly women. That's what I thought you.
Oh,
Hey, Emily. Emily.
Yes.
They have Trojans. They also have sheepskin Trojans.
That's biblical, ain't it?
Just in case they're allergic to latex. Just in case they're allergic to latex, they have sheepskin.
Do they sell sheepskin in the store? Tina said, "Leon, please log
They got
off."
a lock on them. They got a lock on them. CBS.
Leon, we can't fool with you.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call, Mr. Jones.
Okay, so Tina said, Kamala must hammer Project 2025, remind people of January 6th with visuals and her record of accomplishments from now until Election Day. But she must make it clear she is the best candidate for the United States of America, not just Black America or women in America.
That's what I'm saying.
I welcome all the steam from the Divine Nine, non-Greeks alike. But it can't become fraternity to sorority driven.
It cannot.
Because if she leads with that narrative, it will appear in real time as a cult, as with Trump, thus promoting division within the party. We don't want or need that.
My sentiments exactly.
Thank you, TD. You're absolutely correct.
That's exactly what I said.
Well, and I got that. And I got the good part about the Divine Nine. We're gonna give it. They're already organized on the ground with organizations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I'm just saying, smaller cell organizations where they can reach out and touch somebody, and I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, even as far as HBCUs, a lot of us went to HBCUs
because I'm sorry to interrupt, but keep in mind that realistically, the Divine Nine is what pushed Biden over the edge in terms of getting the number of votes that he needed to actually beat out
And they
Trump.
pushed him because he was the best candidate. And
No, no,
all
no,
I'm
no,
saying
no.
is they need
They
to
were
push her
smart. They
because
put
she's
Kamala
the best.
on that ticket because they knew that they needed Kamala. They needed the black votes. They needed those women to get out and vote to help him, because without Kamala Harris on that ticket, he would not have beat Trump. That's undeniable.
I
He wouldn't have beat.
can't
Nope,
say that.
he wouldn't have beat Trump.
And by the way,
No.
and I think also because typically what has happened, and you know this to be true, Johnny, whenever quote unquote, when pollsters and political consultants, when they need the black vote, they go to the black church.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
They go up in there, and now Reverend Chicken Wing, Poke Chop, and Neck Bone don't have the credibility that the old folk used to have up in there.
Right.
Where if the pastor told you, say it's time for you to go out and vote, and they bring them in, and then they will give them a big donation.
Yeah.
Okay, that is that is what ended up. That's what used to happen. But now I'm gonna tell you something. The Divine Nine, I'm gonna have to give them credit where credit is due. They'll get out the vote machine. Now that is a truth.
That is what pushed. I'm telling you, when
No,
he
that is
that's
not
what pushed
my point at all.
them in that when Biden ran against Trump initially. That's what pushed him over the edge and gave him the votes. Is that Divine Nine when he put Kamala on that ticket?
So you're
that
saying
sent him through the roof.
So you're saying, in essence, that his ideology, what he wanted for America, you're saying that the Divine Nine group of people didn't agree with
No.
his ideology.
That's not what I'm
saying
saying that at all.
I'm trying to figure out then.
No, what I'm saying is, in reality, having her on that ticket, I'm not saying that his ideals were wrong or bad or anything.
Right.
He had his own set of ideals, which is why he had the steam to begin with to get the nomination. But putting who they put on the ticket, which was Kamala, was strategically done because they knew the votes that they needed. They knew who they needed to get out and vote.
That goes for every candidate.
But specifically, in the history of our country, when have you ever seen somebody vote a black female VP? It was done at that time because they knew they needed the black vote to get out and push Biden over the edge. Because remember, he only won by a very small margin.
I agree.
By the way, and let me just say,
I agree.
And see, the Divine Nine, whether we like it or not, this is the truth. I just did some research, okay, and I just
powerful.
Nobody's not saying they're not powerful.
No, I'm
That's
just
not the point.
No, I'm saying
You're mixing the points.
They
But
are.
it is.
They are the point of it.
Nobody's
is,
saying they're not powerful. I don't.
Wait. Read what Anthony just said.
The point of the fraternal organization is the unification of our educated class. It can be both. You cannot say don't let it be about the very thing we have that represents black unification. It is like saying a police officer or military officer should not use the votes of the same.
So I got what he's saying. Yeah, he's just saying that these are fraternal organizations. And see, John, I'm gonna give you an example.
I am not saying they should not be supportive. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that.
Okay, let me just say this to you. You with TSU,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Y'all got an alumni association.
Mhm.
How big is it? You know?
I don't know how many people.
All right, let's just say it's 5,000. The head of that can put their hand right then on 5,000 people. And they can take that organization and say, look, I need you to go back to your hometown or whatever it is, and I need you to recruit 10, let's say 100 people. If they go and do that, that's a very powerful piece. And that's all the fraternities and sororities D9 is doing, is they're able to reach into
And that's what they need to be doing.
and that's what they are doing.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And that's what we're talking about as far as being able to reach out and touch. Because I'm here to tell you, just like I'm a part of an organization. I can't promote a candidate with Georgia Women and those who stand with us, but I can reach out to them and encourage them to help me with the get out the vote effort. And when I do that, I'm able to put my hands on so many people at one time through our collaboration, because I've got a lot of people I collaborate with, including D9, African Methodist Episcopal Church, NAACP. I'm trying to think of some other people that are on that, within that organization, a Philip Randolph organization. So I'm able to put my hands on, and not necessarily on those people individually, but on heads and representatives of those organizations and say, hey, we need to get out the vote. I'm gonna be reaching out to them about educating the community on Project 2025. We need to make sure that all we do is talk about Project 2025 and help people understand exactly what that means to us and our lives and how we live every day.
I think everybody in America that wants to save America and democracy needs to be pushing and helping that woman win the presidency because she has the best idea for America. She has the best unifying idea for America. She wants to serve America, just like they say that Joe Biden stepped down because he thought it was best for America, not for his own personal gain. He thought that the best thing for him to do is what they're reporting is that he stepped down. As passionate as he was about being the president, he thought it's better for this country that he stepped down and abort his own personal gratification for the sake of this country. And that's all I'm saying, that we should just be pushing this person who has now been nominated to taking that slot because of their ideology and the experience and the proven work they've done and the currency of the work they've done.
Okay,
I
we
think
got a
that's
call.
what we need to be
Hey,
in.
Miss Ivory, how you doing?
Hello, Miss Brenda Sutton. Williams. Johnny Holland Share, and you're up the gas in the community of Macon, Middle Georgia. I am so excited. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. God positioned Kamala Harris to be the vice president, and he knew eventually that Joe Biden would have to step to the side and let Kamala Harris take the helm at an appointed time and in this season. We got to make sure that as soon as school opens, every high school that has anybody 17 and a half and older, we got to get out there and get them registered to vote. We got to make sure that everybody that has paid their restitution and served their community service, get them back with their freedom and get them registered to vote. I am just so excited. I'm glad you are saying what you are saying, because the Divine Nine, all of us, and ever since yesterday, I've been going all in. I'm all in, and I'm with her. I'm with God first, and then I'm with her.
I know that's right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Ivory.
Won't he do it?
And say, won't he do it?
He did that. He did that. Yes, he did.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
TD said, I have so much I want to say about this, but she had to log off to an assignment. This discussion needs to continue with clarity and a great understanding. We just got a lot of work to do, Johnny.
Yeah, she's the best. She is the best possible person to lead this country. And that's where we need to be. And that includes everybody. And that's all. And the message needs to be that she is the best choice for everybody in this country.
And by the way, and then all of this other nonsense, and then understand this for those who talking about, well, I ain't no vote. My vote don't matter. Let me just tell you something. You vote whether you actually pull the lever or not. Because a lot of times people say, well, how is it if I don't vote? How does that affect the race? Well, if you don't vote,
we need to vote.
If you don't vote, then you're just not in control of your vote.
I guess another way of saying, I don't want for people to take away that black folks are behind her simply because she's the best candidate for Black America. No, she's the best candidate for America.
For the United States of America. Okay, I got you. For the United States of America.
She is the best candidate for the country.
And by the way,
not just for black
folks.
And
then too, I heard some of these other ninjas out there.
Because we are outnumbered in the vote.
I heard some of these other ninjas out there talking.
Who?
I said it, ninjas. Ninjas.
Can we get a translator, please?
And they out there talking about, well, she ain't really black because her mama is from India, as in India.
And her dad's from Jamaica.
And her dad is from Jamaica.
Jamaica, man.
Jamaica,
man.
I ain't seen too many light-skinned people from Jamaica. What about you?
I've seen a few, but is that really even the solid point? The point is she got enough of us in her.
She's the best. The
To-
point is she's the
right.
best
No,
candidate
she's
to
got-
be the president
but you
of
got-
the United
you
States
got-
of
but
America
you got
by a long shot.
You got a lot of folk to talk about. Well, she ain't really black. I'm like, it was Amber Rose that the Republicans had on their convention that was talking about, I'm not really black, I'm biracial. Okay, I can go with that. Your daddy or your mama, one of them black and the other one is white. There's no big deal. But she don't even want to be. I'm talking about Amber Rose, don't even want to be. Yeah, you're right, Dallas. She is black and Asian, absolutely. And if she got a drop in her, then she is a black woman, okay?
But
that used to be the law.
By the way,
before we had money.
But we also have to deal with the reality that I always like to present the facts, the truth, and the facts.
Right.
A lot of people have an issue with her not being, as they say, 100% black, as if that really matters. But the fact that she is married to a Caucasian, and they say, how can you appreciate the black male? How can you understand the plight of the black male when you married outside of your race, and you didn't marry a Jamaican or an Indian or a Hispanic? You married an actual Caucasian. So that's what people are saying, out there. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who she's married to. Is who she's been married to that man 20, 30 years. And at this point, it doesn't matter. She is the best person. She's the best person that we have right now. She is the best thing that's being presented to us. And it's either Trump or Harris. And honestly, she hasn't even gotten the nod yet. I think the Democratic National Convention is August the 19th. So she's drumming up support, and we're trying to, get enough support to give her, to go ahead on and push them to give her the nod. But there is no guarantee that they will give her the nod. So I think people need to understand that she's not in there just yet. That's who we want.
That's who,
and that's who Biden is putting his support behind. But that does not mean that the Democratic Party has to give her the nod or the nomination.
And I believe they will. Anthony says, to divide our community, they will say anything. We know for sure that Trump is not black, and that's the truth.
Right.
And by the way, while we own it, I think that his Supreme Court gave Biden a gift. Don't you think he gave Biden a gift? It's called complete immunity, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
He got 6 months to be in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, because I've had some conversations with some people who support Trump, and they were talking about that. They were saying, Biden's Hunter Biden. I was saying to myself, ain't them federal crimes they talk about with Hunter Biden?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And don't he have complete immunity while he in office? That's what Trump did.
Mm-hmm.
So, he just need to wait until after the election and just give his son a pardon.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever he do in office is, he's got immunity.
Right.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. But I mean, the president can give him a pardon, whether he has immunity or not. He could still give him a presidential pardon. So, and I'm pretty sure he's going to pardon his son.
I would. I would pardon mine.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back on subject and everything, which we've had some great conversation, because I actually think that Kamala is pretty cool. I can't wait for the Democratic convention, okay? Because it's going to be lit and off the chain.
It's going to be lit. And what I want somebody to do, and I'm sure one of these stations is going to do it. It'll probably be 1,000 YouTube documentaries. Somebody needs to come out and lay out the history of Kamala so people understand who she is, what she stands for. I do know that her voting history is going to be brought up, which is very, very important as to who she is, because how you vote says a lot about what you feel is right and what's wrong. So that needs to be brought up, because that is going to hurt her. But I think that if she still can get the support that she needs. I want somebody to come out and lay out her entire story so that people that haven't really paid attention to the VP, because the VP really does play a backseat role in the presidency in itself, even though we know she's gone and met with dignitaries and met with Africa and different things like that. Her role is to play a behind the scene role. Now that she's stepping up to the forefront, I think people need to know who she is. What do you really stand for? What are you really about? Because up until now, she's been there, but we really ain't really said much about her. We know she's been there, but nobody's really talked about Kamala.
I think that's a good point. And I also think that what we're going to find out is that she's been more active than they've been publicizing. I think that we're going to find out that because, okay, here's the actuality. Joe Biden just stepped down because of his age. It didn't just happen at the debate with him and Trump.
Right,
there were already those great signs. So who do you think's been filling in for the president in presidential duties for these past year or these past couple of years? It's been her. So she is very skilled. She's had great relationship building opportunities with the world leaders. And I think those kinds of things are about to start coming out now since she is the candidate. I think while Joe was a candidate, that wasn't something that needed to be
brought up,
put out there. That she was doing all these things anyway. It needed to look like it was Joe doing it. But I think what's going to come out now is that this girl was already doing the job of the president.
Which and it needs to come out. It needs to be brought to the forefront because that's going to help people that may need to be that may need to be swayed more in her direction. I think Anthony said, yep, the smear campaign has started before she is even an official candidate. They want to split the voters before she runs.
And you see what Dr. Dallas Anderson
said exactly. I believe she has been carrying him a long time. I agree. And I think a lot of people know this, but you do have a lot of people that because she's the VP have not paid attention to her. So that stuff needs to be brought to the forefront so people can understand like, oh, okay, you weren't just ornamental. You weren't just kind of standing behind the president and shaking people's hands and kissing babies and, throwing state dinners and stuff that the VP is known to have done. You were actually out there showing up in place of him, building relationships with other countries or fortifying relationship with other countries and all of that kind of stuff.
And in this country as well.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that needs to be done pronto. Somebody needs to be do a documentary on her, and it needs to be done like in the next week.
And there are some people that I have seen, and I'm like Anthony, they have gotten started with the smear campaign, and they're going to try to say, oh, well, she had an affair. What was his name? Somebody that used to be Willie Brown, I think who it was out in California. They said that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, it was me.
And so they're going to try to talk about she was they're going to talk about she was some sort of loose woman back in the day. Now, let me just say this. I don't know how they're going to fix their mouth to even say something like that, given the fact this man, he on marriage number 4? How many women have he cheated with?
Right.
He is an abuser. His past is something else. So we don't want to start digging up skeletons and talking about folk relationship, because I truly do believe she may have a few in her closet, but now he got a boatload.
Right. And my answer for that is always, so what? Is she the first person? And that was never substantiated, right? They never actually said whether that was true or not, or whether she actually had the affair. Sure. But either way, at this point, it's already been brought up. They can't, in terms of presidential races, you can't bring that back up again, because I remember that coming out when she was never running, when she was VP and she was running initially with Biden. So at this point, that's old news. That's water under the bridge. And so what? How many past presidents have had affairs? How many men have cheated on women? How many women have cheated on men?
But we all know the actuality is, if your son got 12 girlfriends, you're giving them high five. If they find out your daughter got 12 boyfriends, oh my God.
And by the way,
we know that's the actuality.
And that's
that's the actuality of it. But at the end of the day, so what?
That
does not stop her from being able to lead.
That's what
country.
I think. She's the best. She's the
And
best.
by the way,
she's the best choice.
And then they said, okay, well, she was somewhat soft on crime, and I want to get this right because I don't want to tell a lie, because she was giving first offenders on marijuana charges, giving them a break. They needed a break. She didn't have any. She needed, and and I want to get it. Dr. Umar said, and I heard him talk about in Trump's last 6 months of his presidency, he sent 13 people to the electric chair. Okay, 13, and he went ahead and he signed a paper for them to be executed, federal people. Out of those 13, 5 was black. Out of those 5, 2 were innocent. He knew they were innocent, but he still let them die. So folk need to understand what I'm saying. So when they start going after Kamala, which you could go after her. You need to also think about, let's just talk about everybody's record. If we're going to talk about one, let's just talk about his. And all I could think about, I say, there again, 2 black men died for nothing. All I could think about was Central Park 5 and how he tried to make sure that they were executed for a rape that they didn't commit. And DNA proved him to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, like Anthony said, Trump has 34 felonies and Kamala has none. I mean, and when you think, you lay this stuff out, you're talking about a president that has been convicted of 34 felonies. That's crazy. 34, 34 felonies. That is unprecedented. It's insane. It's crazy. And this man is still running for president. And even with some of the young ladies with our CNN interview, one of them blatantly admitted, I know he's done some things and, some things that I'm not proud of, that he's done, but I still think he's the best man for the job. And I looked at her and said, so you telling me a man that has abused women, raped women, lied, slandered, money laundered, etc., has been convicted of those 34 counts of touching women and doing inappropriate things with women, that's the man that you think is the best person for the job. Make that make sense.
And by the way, and then all you want to do is talk about, and by the way, one of the real and I don't know if this is true or not, but Trump is upset, and Trump says, well, the Democratic Party needs to give the Republican Party some reimbursement for all the money that they spent on swag, because Sleepy, as he would call him, Sleepy Joe, is now out of the race, and they got to redo everything. Ain't nobody studying them.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
That is crazy.
That's crazy. Nobody's going to give you any money because of you and your spending. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
That is just amazing to me. All I can think about is if a black man, let that have been Obama, and I know everybody said, let that have been Obama, he couldn't have had but one.
Oh, yeah. He would have been under the jail already. Yeah, that been Obama. Yeah. Oh, no. Let him have one. Ain't no way. There's no way that he would have even been able to continue to run.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. And not only that, and you can rest assured, she doesn't have any felonies either.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she did, she wouldn't be running. But when you listen to people and all the hate speech, and then I hear all of this, well, the reason why, and this is something I couldn't believe that Donald Trump even said, he got shot in the ear, and what all happened to his ear, and the doctor said it wasn't nothing wrong with his ear.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the doctor said. Doctor said ain't nothing wrong with your ear. I don't even know why you got that big bandage up there.
And did you see the supporters at the RNC? That it was like all of them had this like patch over their ear to represent, I guess, solidarity. Like, we're all gonna put this patch over our ears to let them know that we're with him. But over half of the attendees had this little white patch over their ear to kind of represent, and I said, if that ain't cult-like behavior, I don't know what is.
And what gets me is that, because I vote, and I support Kamala, there, people say, well, Brenda, basically you're a Democrat. And I'm like, no, I'm an independent, but I support Kamala Harris because I support what it is that she stands for. And what she stands for is in line with what I believe in. No, I don't believe, you know what? I'm only one thing. I am Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Spirit Airlines?
No, I am Spirit. That's what I am.
Oh, I'm just teasing.
You know how it goes. This foolishness about, I'm a this and I'm a that. No, I'm about my relationship with God. That's what I'm about.
All right now.
You want to know what Brenda represents? Brenda want to be. I want to let my light shine so I can draw some people
Well, it
under
already
God.
does. That's that Caucasian.
See
Y'all
that?
let light.
Emily just couldn't help herself.
You know, I'm trying to draw all men under me. That's what I'm trying to do. You know, but this business.
You the embryonic stages of a new cult. That's all I can tell you.
Look here, I ain't trying to fool with them.
The Suttoners.
No, you ain't got to worry about me. I ain't gonna do this because see, I'm not gonna put myself in the position in the same place. See, I don't remember exactly what Bible story it was, but it was a group of people that were building and a graven image of God, and God went in and he knocked it off the little cart, and they went up there and fixed it, and then they put it back. I believe it was in the book of Mark. They went and they did it. Then they did it again, and they went back and he knocked the head off or broke it or whatever. They went back and they reassembled it and they fixed it. The last time he took it and broke it up in all kind of little pieces, they couldn't put it back together. That let me know you don't put anybody before God. You just don't. Mm-hmm. And you don't put yourself in the place of the divine. You just don't do that.
That's true.
And when you do that, you're asking for God to really do something bad to you to let you know to get in your place. Mm-hmm. Because God will put you in your place.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You tell me one instance in the Bible where God has not put something or someone or something in his place.
So you think Trump gonna be put in his place?
Oh yeah. It's just a matter of time. He may have already been put in there because he running against a black woman, and that's really something he don't want.
Do you think Trump is the Antichrist?
I don't know.
What do you think, Johnny?
I don't know, but I do know this. He ain't Christ.
Yeah, how about that? He's not Christ.
Well, clearly.
And I also think if the Democrats calculated this, it was a brilliant move to have him pay all that money for those ads against Joe Biden, and then if they knew all along they were going to put Kamala in and let him spend all that money on them ads.
You know what? Now I would have to say this is what I was talking about earlier. Do you think that it was intentional? Let me tell you something. I think it was genius. If indeed that was the plan all along, Trump had been trumped.
America, that woman is the best candidate for this country to go forward in peace and in harmony. She's the best candidate that we have. I don't care who you go pick.
All right, guys, we'll see you next Monday. We love you.
Peace.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.